What's up guys, Blake here from GuideToVaping.com, and I'm reviewing a mod once again. This time it is the iJoy RDTA Box Mini. So guys, the RDTA Box Mini is the little brother, I mean like little brother to the original RDTA box by iJoy. Now, the reason why I'm super excited about this review is because I was a huge fan of the original RDTA box. I used the shit out of that mod. I loved the RDTA that, came with it as a all-in-one design. I loved that it had a super large, like 12.8 mil tank. And overall, the device in RDTA just performed great. However, there was one issue with it. Well, a couple issues with it, but the main issue being the tank. The tank actually leaks. But the thing is, I never had an issue with the leaking until everyone on my damn YouTube channel started saying, oh, I'm having issues with leaking. The RDTA box is just leaking. I've seen videos where people were taking the damn mod apart and having to fix shit with glue and stuff. Look, if you're having to take apart your mod and fix it, then I classify that as a bad purchase. Yes, in my original video, I told you guys that the RDTA box was awesome. And when I first got it and was using it, everything was great. But after you guys started complaining on YouTube that you were having trouble, next thing you know, I started having trouble. And it pissed me off because I love the RDTA box. I love using it. It was just perfect. The all-in-one design is just outstanding. So I was super excited when iJoy announced that they were coming out with the RDTA Box Mini, not just because I like the RDTA design, the all-in-one design, and not just because I like the design of this particular device, but I also liked it because they were fixing a lot of issues that they had with the original RDTA box. Now, we'll go over some of those things in the close-up, so let's go ahead and just dive down and take a closer look at this RDTA Box Mini. Alright guys, so you are looking at the packaging for the iJoy RDTA Box Mini. As you can see, we got the iJoy name here at the top. We got an image of the RDTA Box Mini here on the front. And then at the bottom, it says the name and gives us a little bit more information. Now, if you look closer, you can see that it lets us know this device can go up to 100 watts and it's got a 2600 mAh built-in battery. And then obviously this is the RDTA Box Mini, of course, but it lets you know just below that it's got a 6 mil tank that is removable. We'll get to that later in the video. Anyhow, this is what the front of this packaging looks like. Here's the side. It gives you a little bit of information letting you know what this device can do, what its features are. And then on the right side, it just says iJoy. The top and the bottom is nothing but white. While on the back side, it says RDTA Box Mini here at the top. It's got a description, and then it tells about its features and what this product packaging includes. So here's its description, guys. This basically tells you all about this device, and then it's got the product features just below, which I'm going to go over for you guys. Now, the first thing you need to know, it says at the top that this tank has a 6 mil capacity. As far as its wattage goes, it goes up to 100 watts, and then it's also got a built-in LiPo 2600 mAh battery. Now it shares that this tank is removable, and we'll go over that later in the video as I mentioned. And then it also tells you that it's got a big size filling hole, of course a top fill system. Then just to the right, it says that it's got nickel titanium stainless steel temperature control. It's got a unique custom user mode. Its resistance range is 0.05 ohms to 3 ohms. It's got a USB port for charging support, and then it's also firmware upgradable. Now, if we look just a little bit below that, you can see what is actually included in this packaging. And what's included is the RDTA Box Mini device itself. We have an RBM C2 pre-made coil head that's 0.25 ohms and is rated for 30 to 60 watts. You get a screwdriver, a manual, a warranty card, a USB cable, and then you also get a tool pack which has things like O-rings, screws, coils, and Japanese organic cotton. Now, it also lets you know here, as you can see, lets you know what colors you can get the RDTA Box Mini in. Now, I know you guys, if you're interested in this device, you probably already looked this device up on Google Images or something like that to see what all colors there were and what it looks like. But I'm just going to let you guys know. You can see here it says it's got a yellow color, a silver, a black, red, white, purple, green, and also blue. So it's got plenty of colors for you guys to choose from. And for me personally, I'm guessing since I got the yellow color, I have the yellow box. So I'm thinking whatever color you get is the color of the actual box, maybe. But yeah, you can see I got the yellow color. This is actually what's inside the box here. So let's go ahead and get to it, guys. Before I ramble on anymore, let's go ahead and pull off this sleeve here. Then once you do that, the only thing you get is just a white box here. Pull off this top cover, and then you can obviously see the iJoy RDTA Mini. So let's pull that up, put it to the side, and pull up this foam piece. Then pull up this cardboard piece, and then you can see everything that was listed is included. We got the micro USB cable, we got the user manual, warranty stuff, we got the screwdriver here, as you can see. Then we have this packaging. Now the packaging, you can see we have that, we have an RDT, or yeah, the RDTA deck. It's like a Velocity style deck. We'll get that and pull it out a little bit later. It's got some pre-made clapped in coils inside. It's got this little silicone piece, basically, if you're wanting to do like maybe a single coil on this deck. It's got some extra screws, some cotton, and it's also got an O-ring, as you can see. So now that we got all the bullshit out of the way, let's go ahead and get to this device. Okay, so what do we know about the RDTA Box Mini? Now, we know it's an all-in-one device. We know that it's got an RDTA at the top rather than something like a regular sub-ohm tank. And we know that it's also got a large fill hole at the top. Well, we know it because of the original RDTA box. So it's only right to actually slide in the RDTA box, the original. So as you guys can see here, the RDTA Box Mini is quite smaller than the original. I mean, when they say this is the Mini, they really mean this is the Mini. So we have them both positioned correctly. Put them side by side. They're straight, and you can see the difference here. Now let's turn it to the side here. Position them correctly. And you can see how much taller. Now if we turn it upside down, you can see the difference here. Like, this thing is so much bigger than the miniature version. Stand them up. Huge difference here. So you can see with the miniature version, guys, everything's much smaller, obviously. But I don't really mean, you know, even though that's obvious, you don't quite get just how small this device is. I know you can compare it to, say, this original that I have here on video, but I think if in person you actually seen this device, put it in your hand, you would be pretty amazed at just how small it actually is. Now, since this is the miniature version, everything is much smaller, like I said. So the top cap for the top fill system, it's much smaller. The RDTA cap and drip tip and stuff like that, all that is much smaller, of course. Rather than having like a 12 mil tank, you're getting a 6 mil tank. And rather than holding two 18650 batteries, you get a LiPo battery that has 2600 mAh. Now, as far as the screen goes, the screen is pretty much the same exact size. You would think that the screen on the Mini would be much smaller, but it's not. Actually, on the original RDTA box, the screen is just as small, except they put this black this little, I don't know, it's like a black background or something like that. And it makes the screen look much larger than what it actually is. So they got the same kind of button here. The adjustment buttons here, you can see it's positioned the same, except we're using triangles here. They're both chrome plated, just like the original. And then just below that on both of them, we got the micro USB port. Now, one thing to note about these devices is that the way it feels, obviously the miniature version is going to feel much better because it's smaller. But on the original, it was kind of rounded on this back side, so it fit a little bit better on that side. While on this RDTA Box Mini, it's more of a, it's got like a more square feel to it. As you can see, it's not rounded on these sides. Now, the last thing that I do want to point out about the difference between these two, you could see the tank, like when you press the fire button here, you could see the tank here, it lit up with that LED. However, when you do it when you press the fire button on this Mini, you see the LED here and you can see your e-liquid state here. So that's pretty much the differences, guys. Now I want to show you and tell you all about this device, the RDTA Box Mini itself. All right, so first things first, let's go over the dimensions. The RDTA Box Mini is 100 millimeters tall. It is 45 millimeters wide and then 25 millimeters in depth. It's got an integrated 2600 mAh battery. Here's the battery ventilation here on the back side. It's got a carbon fiber inlay, as you can see. It's got an RDTA at the top. It's got a Delrin wide bore drip tip here. See if we can take it off. We then have a knurled top cap here. Now to adjust its dual adjustable airflow, you can simply turn that knurled top cap and that adjusts it on both sides. This is what the bottom looks like. We have a large fire button here. Then we have an OLED screen here that's got a vertical stack. We got your two adjustment buttons. They have a triangle shape to them. Then just below that, we got a micro USB port. This is how you will actually charge the device. Here's a sight window to view your e-liquid state. When you press the fire button, this lights up with an LED. You can turn that LED off. You got your fill hole here. If you just unscrew that, that's where you'll pour your e-liquid. As you can see, I got e-liquid already in there. And then at the top, we have an RDTA. If we pull this top cap off, you can see that we got the pre-made RDTA coil in there. This is the RBM C2 coil head. Obviously, it's a dual coil and it's 0.25 ohms. Now, like I said, guys, this is a pre-made coil, but you can install that velocity deck here. As you can see, I got a velocity deck in there. But you can take this pre-made coil off and put that RDTA velocity deck on. Now, let me show you all about this. Let's pull this pre-made coil off here. Actually, let's take this top part off here first. Here's a little ring that separates everything. So let's pull that off first. Then we can pull that pre-made coil off. You can see that I've been using it. I put quite a bit of use to this thing. And then there you go. You can see the wicks at the bottom, the way this is designed for this RDTA. You can see we got the tank down there. And then here we have that velocity deck or velocity style deck for the RDTA. We simply just screw it on in its place. And then once I build this, guys, once I put the coils and cotton on here, what I will be doing, I'll stuff the cotton down and I'll show you guys that. Then I'll just put this piece back on. But then you get it on and then you can screw it down, as you can see. Once you have your coils and cotton in there, that will seal everything off and you'll be ready to go. All right, so what I'm gonna do here, guys, is I'm gonna go ahead and install these coils real quick. I'm gonna get this thing wicked up and then I will show you guys how it performs. So now what you want to do, guys, once you you have the cotton installed, you want to take a little bit of e-liquid and kind of run over those coils and on that cotton, kind of soak it up just a little bit, just so that you know once you take that first pull that you're not going to be getting any kind of dry hits or anything. Do that on both sides. And there we go. Finally found the threads. So now I'm going to screw that on. I'm going to make sure it's tight on there. Fire this thing up. There we go. All right, so now that we got that part out of the way, I also want to show you guys the screen, basically how this thing functions. You know, I like this device. I like the vertical stack on here. I like the OLED screen and the way it functions. But I'll go ahead and tell you, I do not like this fire button. It's just, it kind of sticks down a little bit. It's wonky. But I'll tell you guys more about that when we take it up to some FaceTime. Other than that, guys, here's the screen right here. I'll focus in a little bit more, get down there and zoom in. And guys, basically this device is pretty damn easy to use. You know, it's the regular 3 clicks to get to the main menu. 1, 2, 3. So we got power. This one's for temperature control. This one, I forgot what. Oh, this is to flip the screen. 1, 2, 3. Flip it back. 1, 2, 3. Get in the main menu again. Go over here. Click this one, and this will allow you to change from normal, hard, soft, and user. Basically, this is like your preheat function. So I'm keeping it on. You know, I'm gonna go to hard. And if you want to see what you're at, it says it right there, hard. 1, 2, 3. We can go to TCR. That's where your TCR values you're going to input. And then you can also go to set down there at the bottom. Click that. And then this will allow you to change the LED from on to off. Now here's the LED. When you press the fire button, it's going to light up there. I'll show you in just a minute. Then this is where you can reset the puffs. This is your screen time. You can change your different screen time. But yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Not much more to it than that. Let me show you guys, when I press that fire button, this is what it looks like. You can kind of see my liquid in there. Now, I also wanted to tell you guys about the removable tank. Now, some people are like, nah, it's not removable yet. You know, the tank for this device is removable. That is one of the upgrades that they made for the RDTA Box Mini, because they knew in the past their original RDTA box, it had some leaking issues, and people had to basically take the device apart to try to fix it. So they made things really simple with this one. Pretty much all you have to do is take out these 4 torque screws and you can get to the tank. Now, the only bad thing about that is, you know, there are no tanks available just yet. So if you wanted to replace this tank with the 6 mil capacity tank that it already has, or the 2 mil capacity tank that they're going to be creating, then you can't do it yet. However, that is going to be an option here in the future. Taking the tank out will allow you to not only replace it, but it will also allow you to take it out so you can clean the tank, or if you do have any leaking issues, you can, of course, again, replace it. Now, another thing, guys, if you ever want to replace the battery, the built-in 2600 mAh battery, that's in here, not that you should ever really have to, you can. There's 2 torque screws here at the bottom. I don't want to turn my device over, but anyways, there's 2 torque screws at the bottom where you can unscrew, and then you just pull this back. So yeah, guys, that's it for the RDTA Box Mini. It's a nice device. It feels really good in the hand. It's really small, and I'll tell you more about it when we take it up some FaceTime. So let's go ahead and do that. All right, guys, welcome back. You just got a close-up view of the RDTA Box Mini. I told you all about it. So now I want to know from you guys, do you like this device? Do you like how small it is? I mean, it's fucking super miniature here. And I know I like it, but I want to know what you guys think about it. So let me know in the comments below. Other than that, guys, you done seen everything about this mod. You've seen, you know, how it basically operates, the tank, the RDTA portion of it, the built-in 2600 mAh battery, the 100 watts, and the list goes on. So what are my gripes about this device? First off, I love everything about it. The only things that I would say that I would prefer different, for one, I don't like the fire button because sometimes you don't really know when you click it. I mean, you can kind of hear the clickiness right now, but if you hit it on the left side, right on the edge, I don't know if you guys can see that, but it doesn't click down. So you have to click it on that right side. There's something a little wonky. I don't like the fire button. So that's my only big things. The only other thing I can think of is that it has a 2600 mAh LiPo battery installed. It's built into the device. I wish that it had like something like a 5,000 mAh or something. You know, 2,600 mAh isn't much, but this is a small device, so I can understand that. Let's see how it performs. As you can see, plenty of vapor. The flavor is just great because of this damn RDTA. So yeah, guys, it's not a bad device at all. If you're into the whole all-in-one RDA thing or RDTA thing, if you're into the old original RDTA box by iJoy, then you're definitely going to like this little miniature guy here. But other than that, guys, I'll leave a link in the description where you can pick up the iJoy RDTA box. I want to send a shout out to iJoy for sending me this mod. They knew how bad I wanted it, so they send me out a nice care package. But anyways, guys, that is the iJoy RDTA Box Mini. Thank you all for watching, and until next time, vape on.